so thank you guys for coming to my seminar. It's Saturday, so I appreciate you guys all coming out. I'm going to talk about gut health today. I decided to do this topic because I was having a little bit of issues gut health-wise myself, so I thought maybe I can learn about it and teach you guys what I learned. So thanks for coming. So can you guys see there's my big head in the way?
That's good.
Okay. So the importance of gut health. There's many reasons why you should have good gut health. One being 80% of your immune system is in the gut. So obviously that you want to have a good healthy gut to stay nice and healthy. It aids in digestion of food. It absorbs nutrients. It fuels and maintains your overall health. It helps get rid of toxic metabolic waste. And when your gut health is off, your body will struggle to rid itself of toxins, leading to many illnesses such as chronic fatigue, chronic illnesses, and inflammation throughout the body. So the microbiome and the microbes. So there is a whole world living inside your colon, and it does a lot of important stuff. And this is our microbiome. So our bodies are full of trillions of bacteria and viruses and fungi that perform a range of essential functions for digestion and overall health. While some bacteria are associated with disease, others are actually extremely important for our immune systems, our heart, mental health, hormones, weight, skin, and very many other aspects of our health. The bacteria, viruses, and fungi and other microscopic living things are referred to as microorganisms, also known as microbes. And the microbes are actually found in your intestines in little pockets in the large part of your intestines, and these are called the systems. So true or false, there are more human cells in our bodies than bacterial cells?
False.
I feel like it's false.
False,
Yeah.
yes. There are more bacterial cells in our bodies than human cells. So there are roughly, give or take, 40 trillion bacterial cells in the body and only 30 trillion human cells. So that means we're actually more bacteria than human, which is kind of cool. Altogether, the microbes weigh about 2 to 5 pounds, making them an extra organ that are very crucial for our health. So how microbes affect the body. So humans have evolved to live with microbes for millions of years. During this time, microbes have learned to play a very important role in the human body. Without the gut microbiome, it would be very difficult for us to survive. The gut microbiome begins to affect our bodies the moment we are born. So we're first exposed to microbes when you pass through your mother's birth canal, but there's actually been a lot of new studies showing that you actually could be exposed to these microbes before birth. They're still kind of doing studies. A lot of gut health, they're still kind of diving in deep with studies and stuff, but they're coming out to be with a lot of new stuff. So the gut microbiome begins to affect our bodies. I said that. So as we grow, our gut microbiome begins to diversify, meaning it starts to contain many different species. And the higher microbiome diversity is considered good for your health. So the foods that we eat affect the gut diversity a lot. So some of the other effects, just to list a few, are digesting breast milk. So some of the bacteria that first begin to grow inside babies' intestines are called, these are a lot of big words, bifidobacteria. So they digest the healthy sugars in breast milk that are important for growth. So as babies really only drink milk when they're first off, so that's when the microbes first start working and start getting the intestines going. So digestive fiber, certain bacteria digest fiber, producing short-chain fatty acids, which are important for gut health. So this fiber may help prevent weight gain, diabetes, heart risk, and risk of cancer. Helping control your immune system. So the gut microbiome also controls how your immune system works. By communicating with the immune cells, the gut microbiome can control how your body responds to infection, and helping control brain health. So new research suggests that the gut microbiome also may affect the central nervous system, leading to brain function. So the gut-brain connection. So what is it? So there are two ways our gut and our brain communicate. This is through the vagus nerve and the enteric, and can't pronounce it again, nervous system, ENS. So our vagus nerve allows the brain to communicate with major organs such as our eyes, our vocal cords, heart, lungs, and digestive system. And this is the nerve that is responsible for your fight or flight response to external stimuli. The ENS is a network of nerves, neurons, and neurotransmitters located in our gut that extend the entire digestive tract. The ENS is also known as our second brain. So the ENS ENS communicates with your brain through the nervous system and your hormones. And the exchange of information takes place between your gut and the immune system, affecting your overall mental health as well. So when we're feeling nervous or feeling anxious, our bodies release hormones and chemicals that enter the digestive system and can affect microorganisms that live in your gut. This is helping the digestive process while decreasing your antibody production. So resulting in an imbalance of the gut, causing several GI problems such as upset stomach, diarrhea, IBS, constipation, loss of appetite, or nausea. So when we say we have a gut-wrenching feeling or you have butterflies in your stomach, we actually use this for a reason. This is your ENS either slowing down or speeding up, responding to the situation you're in. So if you're feeling nervous before a presentation, that's my ENS actually telling me, communicating with my brain, like that's why I'm feeling nervous, and my gut's kind of all off because of those feelings. So mental health, I'm going to cut that, actually skip that part now. So why the gut bacteria is beneficial. So good bacteria in your gut help protect you from harmful bacteria and fungi. It helps aid in immune system functions, improve symptoms of depression, and can help address obesity, just to name a few. So some of the gut's bacteria form vitamin K and short-chain fatty acids. So the short-chain, so signs of an unhealthy gut. So these are a couple main ones. So an upset stomach, so if you eat something or if you inhale something that's obviously not good for you, you're going to feel bloated, gassy, constipated, diarrhea, and heartburn. High sugar diet, so like I said before, your food affects your gut obviously a lot. That's what you take in, that's where it's going. So eating high processed or high sugar foods is going to decrease the amount of good bacteria and increase the bad bacteria in the gut, causing an unhealthy gut.
Yeah, actually.
So unintentional weight changes. So gaining or losing weight without changing your diet or exercise might be a sign of an unhealthy gut. An imbalanced gut can impair your body's ability to absorb nutrients, regulate blood sugar, and store fat. So this could be caused by malabsorption because of the small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So sleep disturbances or constant fatigue. Research indicates that this could be an imbalance of your gut health. Skin irritation, psoriasis, acne, eczema, again, everything you're inhaling and eating, it's going to come out some way through your gut and then out through the skin, so that's another sign of an unhealthy gut. Autoimmune conditions, so an unhealthy gut may increase systematic inflammation and alter the proper function of the immune system. And food tolerances, so just the result of difficulty digesting certain foods. Food tolerances like lactose intolerance may be the cause of a poor quality to the bacteria in the gut. So again, some symptoms of food intolerances are bloating, gas, diarrhea, pain, abdominal pain, and nausea. So 7 destroyers of the gut. So over-the-counter drugs, Advil, not a great one. If you can avoid Advil, I mean, obviously we all take Advil when we need it, but try not to pop it like it's candy because it's not good for your gut. It eats away the lining of your gut and it damages it, causing to leaky gut ulcers and actually a lot more. So natural remedies, not fun. Natural remedies, turmeric, a bunch of different herbs that you can take whenever you're feeling you need the Advil for. Omega, that's really great too. So stress can affect the gut a lot. It comes in many shapes and forms, mental, physical, emotional. Chronic levels of stress can destroy your gut microbiome and create gaps in the gut lining. So what you can do, stress management, meditation, therapy, deep breathing techniques, and rest. So just try to not stress yourself out or limit stress as much as possible. So antibiotics, although necessary sometimes, they kill the bacteria in the gut, including the good bacteria in our bodies. So again, if you need antibiotics, obviously take them. If you can do like a 5 to 7 cycle, not prolong it, that's great. Antibiotics are probably one of the worst things, actually. I was reading a lot about them. Terrible for your gut, so bad. So especially long term, like kills your gut, and that's what leads to a lot of issues in like when you're older. So alternatives, again, natural, I said like natural remedies, herbs, garlic, oregano oil. Refined sugar, another destroyer of gut, feeds inflammation bacteria in your guts, leading to an imbalance of the microbiome and inflammation. So alternatives, cut out when you can, but fresh fruit is best. Use natural options, stevia, honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar. Alcohol, so all forms of alcohol are really damaging to the gut lining and increases overall inflammation in the body. So alternatives, try to limit it when possible. If you can cut it out completely, your gut will be very happy. If not, choose alcohol, go for clean, like spritzers, wine, something that's not like vodka and crazy things that are going to completely kill your gut. And also without sugar. So between alcohol and sugar together, it's not good. That's probably why we all feel terrible when we wake up, not just being hungover, but your gut, you feel like gut pain. That's
And
what
it's worse when you got
It's-
sweet drinks.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, your guts are not happy at that point. So refined grains, breads, pastas, flours, baked goods, all the good stuff, unfortunately, again, not good for the gut. A lot of them are processed and they're stripped a lot of their natural values and their good stuff, including fiber, and turned into more of a coarse, straight sugar. So again, not good. Try to get us like the little things with more natural stuff like oats, rice, quinoa, stuff that aren't stripped of the good parts of them. Artificial sweeteners, so they're also known to negatively alter the gut microbiome and increase your risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. So again, try to opt out for natural options if you can. So stevia, monk fruit, honey, maple syrup, stuff like that. So the power of poop. So Steve and I were talking about this yesterday. I thought it was pretty interesting, so I wanted to include it. So fecal transplant, so it's an actual thing. So it's a lot being studied still, but there is a lot of, this has happened a lot, that they transfer stool in the sterile conditions from a donor of intestines for someone that has a healthier gut and a more diverse gut, and they will actually put it in someone that has a really bad gut. So what that does is introducing a healthy mix of gut bacteria into the body in hopes of restoring beneficial gut health and bacteria and stuff like that. So very obviously different, and you think that you're like, what the heck? But I mean, it helps with colitis, Crohn's disease, and other inflammatory GI systems or infections. So if a lot of people are experiencing things that they can't, as much as they're trying to do, this is something that might be able to help them out. Gross, but I like the little emoji. He's here to save the day, here to save the gut. Okay, so food in your gut. So the food we eat each day plays an important role in the balance of the good and bad gut bacteria. So higher sugars and fat diets negatively influence the gut, and also can contribute to insulin resistance, obesity, and inflammation. Once you feed your gut bad bacteria regularly, it's going to grow faster, the bad gut, and colonize, making it very difficult to have and keep healthy bacteria in your gut. So trying to limit bad foods, try to stay with whole foods. This also could be like pesticides on your fruit and stuff, so making sure to clean your veggies and your fruit before you eat them, because those chemicals also play a very huge role in your gut, not in a good way too. They kill the stomach lining, they do all that stuff too. So even if you're eating a good nutritious diet, thinking of what grew, how they grew, how your food's growing and stuff like that. So just wash your veggies. Wash your veggies and fruit. Okay, so gut and your mental health. So the gut produces 90% of our feel-good neurotransmitters, like our dopamine and our serotonin. So those are very big for our how we feel happy chemicals. So the brain has such a direct effect on the stomach and the intestines. So a troubled gut can send signals to the brain, just like a troubled brain can send signals to the gut. So therefore, a person's stomach or intestines can actually, distress can be the cause of someone's anxiety, depression, stress. So if you think about it, if your stomach's out of whack, it's going to send signals to your brain, the brain's going to send it right back. So mental health is just going to decline, so just making sure you're having a good, healthy gut long term will help out with your mental health. Still lots of studies, they haven't figured out exactly why the gut and how the gut communicates with the brain, they have the ENS and stuff like that, but they're still doing a lot of research, which is really interesting because it's crazy. When you think about it, where everything starts from your gut, kind of goes from there. So probiotics and prebiotics. A lot of people probably have heard of probiotics. Prebiotics, really not so much. I know I didn't really hear about prebiotics just until recently. The last couple of years, I started to realize what they were. So probiotics are beneficial bacteria found in certain foods that can help provide many health benefits. So you can find it in things like yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha tea, things that are fermented. And the prebiotics are pretty much food for the probiotics. So they feed on the friendly bacteria in your gut. So this allows your gut to produce nutrients that your colon cells need, causing a healthier digestive system. So usually taking 2 of them together is going to be a lot, obviously, more beneficial. So types of probiotics, again, a lot of big words. So let's just start with the first one here. So this is the most common probiotic. It's the one you'll find in yogurt and fermented foods. So different strands can help with things like diarrhea and help people digest lactose. So you can actually get lactose enzymes. So if you have like a lactose sensitivity, I know I do, I have lactose enzymes, they help a lot to just break down if you eat any kind of lactose or dairy. The second one, you'll find in dairy products. So it's the ease symptoms of IBS and other conditions. And then the last one is a yeast found in probiotics, and it appears to fight diarrhea and other digestive symptoms. So again, probiotic foods. So fermented foods are a great option because they have that beneficial bacteria that thrive on naturally occurring sugars. So making sure when you're getting sauerkraut, make sure it's unpasteurized, because when it is pasteurized, that actually kills off the bacteria that you want in your gut. So looking on the side of whatever you're eating, make sure it's unpasteurized. And then probiotic supplement, of course, too, if you're not getting enough in your diet, it's a good option as well, too. Probiotic foods, so again, there's a huge list here. And the symbiotic foods contain both prebiotic and probiotic. So some examples are kefir, cheese, and sauerkraut. So if you can try to get foods that have both, then you're doing your guts lots. So digestive enzymes, and what are they? So they're in the body, they're made in the pancreas, stomach, and the small intestine, and they help break down your carbs, proteins, and your fats. So there's lots of different enzymes in the body. So if you don't have, if your body can't make enzymes, it's going to have trouble breaking down the carbs, protein, and fats. So supplementing with supplements will help create the enzymes that your body needs. Some symptoms: bloating, gas, belly pain, and cramps, stuff like that. When you eat something, your stomach's not happy. That's what it is. The 3 main ones that you'll find here too: amylase. Again, these words are not easy. So primarily breakdowns the carbs. Proteases breaks down the proteins, and then lipase break down the fat and the oils. So they all have different ones that go for different things in your body. And then of course the other ones here, these ones just break down lactose and just sucrose. So why they're important? So having a lack of digestive enzymes, again, leads to GI problems, leaving you malnourished even if you do eat a nutritious diet. So exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, EPI, it's a lack of digestive enzymes that leads to poor digestion and malnutrition. So if your body starts to not be able to break things down, you could possibly have this. I mean, it could be like whatever you're eating. So signs like this are bloating, gas, diarrhea, and cramping. So a list of foods that contain lots of natural, healthy digestive enzymes that try to get into your diet every day. That'll, again...
Those are all delicious.
Yeah.
Those are all amazing.
They're great. They're great things to eat. Yeah. Okay. So, happy gut, happy you. So last thing, how to improve your gut. So I kind of talked about it before. Lower your stress levels if you can. So meditation, stress management, self-care, stuff like that. Make yourself feel better, limit alcohol, of course. Get enough sleep, get 6 to 7 hours a day. Eat slowly, so chewing your food is going to help break down your food before it goes through your intestine, just making it easier for things to pass through. Stay hydrated, drink lots of water. Again, water is just going to push everything down, flush things throughout the body, make sure everything's working properly. And eating high foods with proteins, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. And that's it. Thanks, guys. There's a couple others, eat fiber, buy organic, so that kind of stuff will just be like not full of pesticides. Spend time in nature, avoid chemical-based products. Smoking is a huge one too. Exercise, I meant to add too, but it's obviously great for your body, just helps things move along, make everything working out. But yeah, and then just some signs if you're feeling good, like you're not constantly bloated, like you just have the normal bloat at the end of the day. Full of energy, your body reacts to stress and food well. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Who's got questions?
You do.
Anybody else before I go? Yeah. Okay, so you obviously you did a bunch of research here. Very good presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
From what you obviously knew some about gut health before and and all that stuff. So when you were researching for this topic, what stood out to you? Like, what new information stood out to you the most? We're like, oh wow, that's really neat. Right?
When I was covering the ENS part, I thought that was really interesting because I never like did the connection. Like obviously everything's connected between your gut and your brain, gut and your brain. It actually kind of all the way goes through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's cool that like when you think you have like you're feeling nauseous or like the stomach and your feeling goes to your brain, that's how it works. Like I didn't realize there was a release of chemicals between the two, and that's why it can like affect how you're eating if you're nervous or whatever. That was pretty cool to me. The digestive enzymes, kind of going into that, just realizing like seeing where their like digestive enzymes are actually made in your body, like the small intestine, your stomach, and your pancreas. I didn't know that, so I thought that was pretty cool, just going over all that stuff. Honestly, a lot of it was really interesting, but I definitely thought the ENS part was really cool. Could probably dive more into that, but more information.
Well, actually, like you bring that up. That's like that's why they're starting to look at the gut in connection to autism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you're saying. I think that a lot of, so I was reading that people with autism, they have an imbalance of gut to begin with. So it's really cool. So and it was also when I was doing research about when you're first exposed to it. So it's differently if you are born C-sectional, like just vaginally, but it's cool because it's just how you're exposed to the microbiome that way. So yeah, it was really interesting.
So like, do they not get enough bacteria?
Yeah, their gut's all out of whack when they come through like the C-section. I think it's just because of the way that they are exposed that way. Yeah, I'd have to dive into a bit more and get more information.
And like hospitals are just like getting lazy and they're just, if there's difficult births, they're just saying, F it.
So does that
Cut her
mean
open.
C-section?
Yeah.
More and more.
And
Yeah,
C-section
they're often for it, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, did you see these studies that had like more prone C-section babies to like more of these type of problems?
Yeah, more because their gut biome is kind of out of whack right to begin with.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
what's
anxiety.
leading to a lot of anxiety. A lot of kids with autism, kids with like learning disabilities, has to do with their gut. There's still, like I said, a lot of research being done. I think they're kind of just diving into a lot of this stuff now because it's a growing thing.
So is that something that you have to be like born like exposed to naturally, or could they start stepping in and like giving them
starting preventatives at that age, you think. But like Stephen said, they're kind of just slapping on, has something to do, you don't think your gut could be the reason, right? So they're just causing it different other reasons. But if they were to do preventative right off the bat, it could prolong or could help maybe get whatever condition it is better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary to think about.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The medical system might be causing this.
Yeah, and people with antibiotics too, like, I knew antibiotics obviously are not good for you, especially long term, and a lot of people you see feeling ill or like whatever, and you think like, what do they take? Because it could be like if they have GI problems like long term when they're older, like what were they on for a prolonged period of time, what their doctor maybe probably could have got them off of to prevent that from their gut.
Well, I think they're not giving kids antibiotics for like ear infections anymore.
Good,
Because
it just screws up everything.
Yeah.
It screws it all up, including your gut. So that's
How
good.
do you get rid of anyone know how you get rid of an infection without antibiotics?
Well, that's the thing.
Sometimes your body can fight.
Yeah, sometimes your body can't. So if you have a good gut to begin with, and you have those good, so having a good gut in general is great because if you have an infection, your gut's gonna be able to fight it off. But if you have a bad gut, you're gonna need those antibiotics. But then it's kind of like this ongoing system because now your gut's even more screwed up because of those antibiotics, right? And like a lot of people, unfortunately, that don't really take care of their body. They're just gonna think it's the easy way. Oh, I can continue this forever.
Yeah, so that happened to me. Like my IBS issues started, I think, 10 years ago, I think just after a run of antibiotics I had for whatever reason. And then like since then, I started, it was like a year or two ago where I got like 3 bacterial infections in the same year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I had to keep taking
More antibiotics.
Yeah, more antibiotics, and it's just like now I'm just like prone to it now after a viral infection.
Yeah.
Is it like, because I know like people are now recommending taking probiotics when you take antibiotics, like that's so important.
Yep.
Is that,
That's why.
like, but is that like, does that even help that much? Or are antibiotics like that destructive? Or it's
It could not, right? Like
I feel like you have to take the probiotics
Not just,
long-term.
Yeah.
not just when
Yeah.
you're sick, like if you're already taking them and then you have like adding them, you can keep keeping all your supplements the same, plus your antibiotics to add long-term.
But I feel like for women too, like if you get like yeast infections and stuff, you have
Yeah.
to like pump in the probiotics.
Yes, yeah, because that helps.
Well, that's what they say is like, you know, like the typical like go for cranberry juices and go for your yogurt, stuff like
Yeah.
that, because it's the stuff that real foods
All the good
have
stuff, yeah.
that would help us.
Yep.
And like you said, preventative, like that if we just
Yeah.
always kept up with that, then.
Yeah, and it's cool too, like your gut doesn't only affect your insides, it's your outside, so the skin, like your skin irritations, if you have acne, I haven't seen that. I know I have really sensitive skin, so if I have something dairy especially, it comes out through acne, it comes out through eczema, like that's because it's coming from your gut, so it's like not only bacteria is in your gut, but it's on your skin too, so.
Yeah, when I did my 7-day fast, again, I don't recommend that to anybody, but when I did it, my face and like scalp issues just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's gone. The minute, and they stayed good for a bit, but then I started eating again, and what do you know, they came back.
Yeah.
So just can't eat them.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
don't eat food.
Yeah. So yeah, eat lots of food and like change up your food too. Like I'm very good like for eating the same thing over and over because it's just easy for me. I know it works for me, but having a diverse gut, so including different kinds of foods and like things to get your body used to it, that's gonna help your gut health as well too. So try to like expand your horizons with your food. You want that good diversity in your gut.